Welcome to Nearing Nirvana. This is episode 94 of Long Story Short.
Damn, 94!
I know, right? We're inching away. I know we teased a little bit last week for episode 100. I think we're still discussing it backstage of exactly what we're doing. So it'll be a surprise.
We got a plan. We'll see if we stick to it.
Yeah,
Right.
And it looks like we have a lot of our regulars in the chat with us. So thank you so much for joining with us right off the rip. And I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors over at Cover Price. So make sure you're using the code Nirvana14 for a 30-day unlimited membership for only 99 cents. You could also use the code Nirvana over at Bird City Comics on their website. So make sure you're signed up for their text lines. I think they're on vacation right now for Laura's birthday in the UK.
Yeah, they're in London, it looks like, right?
Yeah.
Gallivanting.
I'm jealous. I've never been to the UK, so
London's fun.
yeah.
If you like pubs and football, soccer, whatever.
Oh, actually, that sounds kind of fun. So, but I guess I got to go to the right club, right? So I guess I got to solidify a team.
It depends on who you talk to. That depends on who you talk to. So,
or what section of what area you're in as well too. Right?
Yeah, man.
I bet if you went with long short, you'd be fine.
Right.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Show you how to navigate.
But I don't know if I'm an Arsenal fan. So
you will. You will be.
I've gone to lots of different teams and snuck my way in. So
nice.
It's all good. It's all good.
Sweet.
All right. I'm looking forward to the show tonight. Got a lot of cool books to talk about, and yeah, why don't we get into this?
Yeah. Normal disclaimer: buy everything on eBay, top dollar. Make sure it's on the almost 10. So
yeah, man. If you guys haven't learned yet, this show is for those who hunt for comics. You can hunt online, but you know, chasing listed eBay prices ain't always the best way to go about it. So to each your own, but be patient. Go hunting.
Yeah, it's like fishing, right? Like if there's a book you really want, like if you dig long enough, you'll eventually run into it.
You'll eventually find it in due time. All right. We're gonna start out with a book I saw at a con that kind of stopped me in my tracks a little bit. This book, when you see it from a distance, it really kind of pops a little bit. This is Katy Keene 3D #1. This is a tough book to research unless you know to search for Katy Keene 3D. Came with some 3D glasses, which was all the rage back in the day. This is a Bill Wagen cover, legendary Golden and Silver Age artists. 7.5 sold back in 2020 for $465. Only 11 of these on the census. What do we think?
So was that a auction or buy it now?
I believe it was a buy it now, but don't quote me on that. I think it was a buy now. Now, here's what's interesting about this book. And I think I've seen some inconsistencies. You see it with a green label often because the 3D glasses aren't attached. But I'm pretty sure I've seen it in the blue label that says the 3D glasses aren't there. Inconsistencies with CGC. What do you think?
I think that's bullshit, man. I think that's bullshit. It's like that should not exist, right? It's either one or the other. And like, you can't change your mind. You can't give somebody a blue label and then switch it to a green. I mean,
I just think I want to say that I was looking at a blue label, and there's a lot more blues than greens.
Yeah.
So you buy the green label and regrade it.
I would say those 3D glasses are a little more important because they're vintage. That would be the only thing. Other than that, if this book was from the bronze, I wouldn't say. I would say, but the fact that this is an older book and those 3D glasses are vintage, I mean, really vintage. I mean, it makes it a thing.
But But you said it was.
I mean, but if you like the book, go get the book. I don't think I think collect what you like. I don't think somebody's buying this book to flip it in a month. You know, they're buying this book because they love the art. They love the colors. I mean, look how vibrant the yellow and the blue pop. I mean, it's a good looking cover, and I love the 3D, 3-dimension kind of like from the movie theater. It's cool.
So you're saying that it was a green label, but it had the glasses, but they were detached?
No, I believe there was. I saw the green label say glasses not included, right?
Oh, okay.
There was I am almost certain I saw a blue label with a note saying, glasses not included.
Don't they give you a lower grade if it's a blue label and the glasses?
But it wasn't because incomplete is usually immediately 0.5.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But there's been a few instances now with CGC. There was another. Was it a book that you cover, Carter? That it was missing something. Somebody covered it where there was like a tear that impacted the story, and they still gave it like a 4 or 5 blue.
Oh yeah, because it was deemed incomplete.
But they still got a blue. They graded it as is. They didn't give it with the green label. I swear I've seen.
So I always think of the Captain Britain book, the magazine size one from the UK, where there's like that mask in the back, right? Or in the middle, but it's actually like just included in the book, and it's not actually attached within the book. So the book's not made. So it's just like an insert added in for production or whatever.
Yeah, you could just take one from any book and just slap it in another.
Right. So so if you had a low grade one or whatever that had that, and then you had a higher grade looking one, but just inserted it.
I mean, you kind of need the glasses, or else the book is going to be kind of hard to look at. You know what I mean? But so you might as well get it slab. If you have it slab, does it really matter if the 3D glasses? What are you going to crack the slab and go? Oh,
that was
man,
my thinking. Like, if you like
the 3D glasses aren't in there, I wanted to read it. You know what I mean?
Son of a bitch.
So I mean, and then that's where that third party grader that grades CGC comes in, and it's like, oh, it has the glasses, but they're poking out, so it's instead of a 7.5, it's a 7.0.
You ever review a slabbed comic like a fine wine? You're just gonna wait for the right time to crack it open just to read it.
Anyways, I thought this was a good looking book. And,
it is a good looking book.
I wonder how many people have cracked open a Golden Age book and it just turns into dust.
Yeah, talk about tears.
Yeah.
All right. Diary Secrets number 17. And look how scandalous this is. Did I give my lips too freely?
Ooh,
this is a Matt Baker cover, beautiful Matt Baker cover. A 7.0 sold for $3,360 September last year, so about a year ago. Only 12 of these on the census. I mean, this is quintessential Matt Baker, if you ask me. What are we thinking about this book?
I love it. I've never seen it before. And if I do see it, it'll be out of my price range.
You never know. You never know. There's some dealers with the romance stuff. They don't give it the love it deserves, Carter.
Is it sold recently?
I mean, I don't know if I'm sure maybe some wrong.
If it had sold recently, I would have noticed.
Okay. Yeah, because I was gonna say if it had sold recently, Stein's yelling, "Oh, this was gonna be my honorable mention book."
Like in the last 6 months of me doing Hot Book Alert, I would have noticed this.
I've got a sort of a short list of Matt Bakers, and this one's on it.
Did I give my lips too freely?
Well, if you read the bubbles there, I can't see them from here. It's pretty funny.
Let's see if I can
give me one reason why you shouldn't.
Why
just one.
Oh, Jim, if I only could. A cruise ship spells danger for a girl on her own.
You ain't lying. No lies told there.
I found that once, or I found the price, or no, I found that the price of popularity was too high.
Just everything just sounds like
Keep going, Aaron.
awful.
Scandalous.
Those were all the bubbles. All right, page
Good
1
Lord.
of Diary Secrets, number 17. Did I give my lips too free? Okay. No.
Call a comic shop. Hey, I'm looking for a book. It's called Did I Give My Lips Up Too Freely? And it's like click.
Diary Secrets, number 17.
All right.
Woo, look at this.
I saw this book the other day and didn't do anything about it, but figured I'd talk about it. Operation Peril number 5. Ogden Whitney cover, American Comics Group from 1951. 4 sold back in June for $430, respectable. 13 of these on the census. What I caught my eye is, she's got the bubble helmet, but she's fully enclosed. Usually they're just out in space with the helmet and like the bikini, and that's it. But this one a bit more prepared, which I thought was responsible.
She's usually in a space Keene.
She's still rocking the heels though in this one. It looks like.
Mm-hmm. Still got to be fashionable though.
Bro, she's got the yellow gloves, man.
Yeah, there's nothing else going on with this book other than just some. I mean, what do we call this? The atomic age? Is that what we're in with these?
51.
50s?
Yeah, you can
Yes,
say that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Danny Danger. Typhoon
She has the
Tyler
same see-through-
and the Time Travelers.
Bruce, that's a good observation. She's rocking the same suit as Katy Keene. Maybe they're sharing the same wardrobe.
Maybe it is Katy Keene.
She's a time traveler.
Alrighty. Here's a ghost, a modern ghost. Kick-Ass number 3. Sorry, Kick-Ass 3 number 5. This is a John Romita Jr. 1 in 50 variant. No copies of this I could find on the census. None floating around online. This is obviously a Star Wars homage. She looks about to blow him away.
She's about to shoot him in the dick.
Yeah, man, that's gonna.
But who shot
gonna be-
first?
That's gonna be harsh when she pulls the trigger on that one. But yeah, this is a tough book to find.
Oh, it says at the bottom who shot first.
Hit girl shot first. No, I love these looking for the variants on Kick-Ass books, and like even this is still one of my all-time favorites, man. This one is kind of hard to find.
Yeah, good
David
find,
Mack
man.
one. Yeah.
So I always blame Steve.
But they're out there. There's like Sienkiewicz ones that are badass, that are hard to find, and so like don't pass these up, man. Especially
for
this one. This one is
on an issue number 5 from Kick-Ass 3. I mean, has anybody ever seen this thing?
No.
Nope.
I've seen it in a picture, but online, but never in hand or.
I always blame Steve Horn every time I run into a Kick-Ass book I could never find.
Why, he had them all?
Either he had them all or he was talking about them a lot back in the day.
Well, let's stay with the Kick-Ass theme.
And it was this book.
Kick-Ass number 3. This is a second print from the original series. So Hit Girl first appeared in Kick-Ass 3, but she shows up on the cover of this second print, which is why it's fairly high in demand. We talked about this on Flip Side, the second ghost show we ever did. I believe this book was on there. I think George was the one that I requested to be on the show.
Was it George or was it Steve?
I'm pretty sure it was George. I can remember it pretty clearly when he sent it to me.
Gotcha.
So what was this? Hit Girl's first cover appearance?
First appearance and cover. She now, I mean, you can get into the whole semantics as a second print, a first appearance, but her first appearance was in issue 3. She wasn't on the cover of the original. On the second print, she shows up on the cover. It was low printed, and this book used to go for you could never find it, and it used to be people used to ask a lot for it.
Oh yeah. I remember those days. Yeah.
They Call Me Bruce has this book.
I have it too. This one. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I think it's a great book to have. I think it seems inevitable that they may revisit Kick-Ass at some point. It just seems like pretty valuable IP.
If Kick-Ass is on TV in the middle of it, like, I won't change it. I'll watch because I think it's freaking hysterical, man. But
yeah.
Oh, that'd be a cool Netflix series to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Amazon Prime. That way, just do it in the way you would do The Boys or whatever. But
or if they did it like the Invincible cartoon, I mean, just that's been a huge hit, right? So
that would be good, doing it as a cartoon.
We could have the full violence and the whole thing.
But I thought Mark Miller had exclusive deal with
Netflix.
Well, yeah, with Netflix, because
I think it's a first look deal, though, right? So if they if they don't want it, I think they can give it to somebody else. Now, because this was a movie, it may be excluded. It's maybe I forget who put this out, but it's probably with the rights of the movie. Whoever produced the movie would be my guess.
Yeah, I would assume until so many years or whatever.
Yeah, Chad, 30 for 9 is that, but that was back in 2015. We're talking a decade ago, man.
When it costs what, $10 to $20 to grade a book too, as well. They profited, man. I'm just joking.
All right, this is from Matt DeVoe. We were talking. He threw out some books for the show tonight. So Matt, if you're watching, buddy, much love. So this is True Blood Tainted Love number 6. This is a genuine ghost. This is a Deborah Ann Wall photo variant.
Wow.
She was really freaking good in the Daredevil series. For anybody who watched that on Netflix, no recent sales data on this book, and only 2 on the census.
Yo, I never really watched True Blood, but I did watch the Daredevil series. This chick is a straight thoroughbred. Holy cow. I'd never seen a chick built like her. Damn.
Yeah, she was really damn good in that show, man. And she's coming back for Born Again. So and she was a huge proponent of the show. But this book cannot be found.
Yeah.
I'm
looking. Okay,
Mama!
I'm looking for this. Yeah, mama.
Mama!
Mama. Ah!
Yeah, I don't think I've seen True. I just started Dexter. I actually started that. I had never watched it.
Good show.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep the show rolling. Another Matt DeVoe photo cover. I was joking with DeVoe. He
Man, Matt's bringing it tonight, bro.
He was talking about photo variants, and it was like, these things are really blowing up. And I gave him a hard time. Like, who would have ever guessed that, Matt? Who would have ever guessed that Marvel photo variants would catch
that? Us. Us.
This is the Vampire Diaries number 1. This is a 1 in 25. A 9.8 of this sold back in 2016 for a mere $79. Only 8 of these on the census. Now, be very careful if you are buying these after a couple drinks. The trade paperback is this exact picture, and it's plentiful. So you may think you found it, but you didn't. You're just going to pay $15 for a trade paperback.
That's crazy.
Unless that floats your boat, at least you have a trade paper.
Nothing wrong with it, but if you want the rare one, it's this one. So, I was talking to Matt today. He's like, dude, I found so many obscure books. I got to tell you, and he just teased me. He didn't tell me what they were, but it's like So he came across all sorts of some strange stuff. So, Matt is cut from the same cloth as us. We're kind of all into the same kind of stuff. Him.
What's up, Blue Green?
What's up, Tony?
Hey, Tony, what's up, buddy? Stein, sort of all of a similar mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I've been on shows with all three of y'all.
The connective tissue, Aaron. You are the connective tissue. Ties it all together.
Sweet.
All right.
I love this book.
Yeah, we may have talked about this book before. I want to give a warning. We've been doing the show for over 2 years now, so if we end up bumping in now and then to books we've talked about, I can't keep up with all of the freaking books we've covered over the years. So if we happen to have a repeat now and then, roll with it. We may have talked about this one. I don't know, but this is a beautiful Delato 1 in 25, Original Sin #7. Just a beautiful Gamora cover. What I love about this book is the green tone throughout, but then just the blood, like on the back wall and on the sword. I think it looks really cool. But 83 of these on the census, 67 in 9/8, which is okay. But anytime you see a ratio of a cool book under 100, it's I wouldn't call it rare, but it's scarce.
Especially for number 7.
Yeah.
1 in 25.
Well, he had that run of on Original Sin of like he had that Ant-Man cover and the Winter Soldier stick out to me, especially that Ant-Man. It was done so well. Nobody really talks about that either. But this, I have the Italian kind of trade or whatever that I picked up from Josh. It's really good. It's one of my favorite covers of Gamora.
Yeah, that's a good one, Tony. And Natalie Sanders has some good Gamora covers for sure. She has a really cool Hit Girl cover too, for that matter.
I like the Grapevine stuff with Gamora.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So we have a couple more Gamora books. This one, I think it's just, if I was aware of this, I forgot about it, but this is a Tula Lote 1 in 25 for Gamora #1. Tula Lote is definitely picking up some steam in the community. We talk about her a lot on this show. But yeah, this is a cool 1 in 25. A 9/8 sold for $154 back in 2022, which is respectable. Only 18 of these on the census, 12 and 9.8. But given her popularity and the popularity of Gamora, this seems like a pretty safe bet if you can find it cheap.
Yep. Damn it, Ben.
What about you, Carter? Did you ever come across this one?
No.
Yeah, it's weird.
I've never seen this cover. I'm like, what the hell's going on, bro?
It's weird. I don't remember. I don't think I remember this one. I'm kind of like kicking myself. Like, how did you forget about this book or not know about it? But
it's like these artists are doing variants as if their book came out in 2015. You know what I mean? Like making 2015 books. I guess you guys missed this.
Here's the foil version.
This is retroactive.
Yeah. But now I have another book to add to my list to look for. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah.
That's the point of the show, man. Let's build
wow.
Let's build some books to look at. All right.
This one's awesome.
Yeah, nothing crazy about this book. It's fairly plentiful, to be honest, but I just dig it. Beautiful Frank Cho cover A from 2015. 9/8 sold for $50 back in 2020, so nothing crazy there. But 71 on the census, 54 9.8. But what surprised me when I was looking at this is that 53 of those copies are signature series, assuming that they're all Cho, I would imagine. But it's weird that people are picking this book to get signed by Cho out of all of the options. Maybe because it's pretty cool and it's not that expensive. I don't know.
I mean, like this gives you vibes of like Steranko, and then, um, what you call it, the Nick Fury on the bottom looks like it was drawn by fucking Bill Noto, and
I mean, the skull there is always cool,
skull.
right?
But then it has like a mix of like propaganda posters.
Yeah.
Too, which I like, just like the design.
I mean, it's just
layout.
it's just so different. I love Rocket back there. It's just like it's cool as shit.
There's an all new X-Men variant that is exactly like that with X-23 on the cover. Frank Cho as well.
Oh, nice.
Exactly like that.
I wonder if he probably has like a, where he was trying to do like a theme of the month or whatever, kind of like this.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I forget if it was an annual or like maybe just a regular numbered book.
I mean, Cho he has thematic covers like this, right? There's like certain things that he'll do over and over again with different characters, so it doesn't surprise me. I can't think of that cover off the top of my head, but I'm sure if I see it, I'll remember it.
It might be number 17. All new X-Men 17.
Tony, come on. That's a tough question. I love them both, but they're completely different artists. You know what I mean? Two of my very favorite. I'm going to not answer that question. I feel like I'm going to plead the fifth on that one. I'm just going to say that, like, one of my very favorite covers is by Aha. Right.
I can guess it. Let me guess.
Yeah, I know you can guess it. Everybody can guess it, right?
Second print, purple.
Hawkeye number 9. Yes. One of my very all-time favorite comic book covers. Without question.
Who do you love more than DeCal?
From an artist perspective?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I like he's probably my favorite modern artist. But I love Phil Noto. I love Aha. I love Gerard Perel. I think is
Perel.
Wildly underrated. I'm a big Tula Lote fan. There's so many phenomenal artists. It's impossible to keep up with all of them. But yeah, there's something about DeCal's work that really works for me.
I'm excited to see something as Killed in Children number 0.
Liefeld. I don't mind Liefeld. He's kind of a weird personality. I don't mind him. He's not my favorite artist. I don't mind him as a personality, but his comic art is hit or miss for me.
Is he retired from comics or just retired from Deadpool?
I think he's doing a Deadpool run right now, the Deadpool team up, and I think that's his last one, right?
Yeah. And then intake of that also, he's retiring from Marvel.
Oh, really?
Something like that, because like he wants to explore like some of his other titles and stuff like that, but because he knows, like, he already knows himself that he only has X amount of years left to do work.
Yeah, as Cosmic One says, so he says. Everybody wants a comeback, right? So we'll see.
I think he's, I think he already had his comeback moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 5-6 years he gets,
like where he's like in the head, the top of the spotlight and all that. Obviously he's transitioning into that personality of Marvel or whatever, or as a comic creator.
We'll see. We will see.
But that's what it seems like most of those 90s artists are doing anyways, right? Like they'll do a piece every so often. Jim Lee's kind of doing that. McFarlane's doing that. Like they're heads of companies now, right?
Yeah. So DT, real quick, DeCall has a 1 in 25 something killing children coming out. Yes, I bought the OA of that. Now I am not allowed to share it until the art gets released. It still hasn't been released yet. I will say this: I spent a lot of time talking with him about that before I bought the OA. He told me a couple of things. One, that Boom had been begging him to do another Something That's Killing the Children cover, and he said he would not do another one unless he could do something that he felt that lived up to the original, because the original had become sort of so iconic. for lack of a better word. And 2, he thinks it's one of his best works. So I've got it right here. I'm not going to show it. I'll get in trouble. But on the other side of this is the OA. And I'll post it when Boom posts the art for it. But I check every couple days and nothing yet. But it's coming out in September, so they got to post the damn thing soon.
I pre-ordered like at least 5 copies, I think.
Damn.
Swag, what's up, buddy? Thanks for tuning in.
All right.
Yeah, I grabbed a couple copies of that too. So I'll tell you right now, it's pretty cool. I will say this: the OA of that I bought is, it's only a fraction of the overall because he did a lot of it digitally, but he drew Jessica Slaughter, with ink, and then filled in monsters and other things around her with digitally. So he's
you mean Erica, right?
Oh, sorry. What did I call Erica Slaughter? What did I call her? Jessica? Sorry.
Yeah. Well,
Erica
Jessica's that other character from.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
Erica Slaughter.
Yeah.
You said Randy Savage.
Did I say right? All right. Here we go. Bettie Page #1 from 2017. This is by Terry Dodson. It's a version 1 in 30 variant. This is quite obviously a Dave Stevens homage. Interestingly, there's only 4 9/8 of this on the census, 10 in total. And 9/8 sold for $80 back in 2022. I would think if this book came up, it would go for a lot more, just given what's happened to Dave Stevens books over the last 6 months or so. And this is Dynamite in sort of typical Dynamite fashion. There's a lot of different ratios for this. There's sketch versions, red versions. I think the trade dress was the cover A, and that book sells respectably as well. I think the trade dress sells for $20. But yeah, this one's kind of dried up.
If you're digging or you're at a comic shop, and you see this cover and you go back to 2017, you gotta be crazy not to have picked this up. I remember picking this up on the rack. I mean, and that's because I didn't put it together. Oh, this is a Dave Stevens homage. You just look at that and that is so good. It's like, who is that? And I remember Terry Dodson is unique and he never gets a lot of love. This, real quick, it doesn't look like Dodson, right? And you'd have to okay, that's homage and Dave Stevens. What I would have liked about this cover, if the photographer was drawn like Dave Stevens in the background, that would have been freaking amazing. Like the way Dave Stevens did that one homage of himself drawing. Yeah. This just looks like.
So who did this? So this was interior art, but I think it was at Jetpack Comics that took this and made it a cover. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, I think they did. And then, do you know what else they did this past San Diego? There was a pen of the Dave Stevens Bettie Page of this. I don't remember what it was limited to. I think it was like 200 or something like that. But I definitely overlooked that booth as well. So,
yeah, I think this book would have hit a bit harder if it were released today, just given the Dave Stevens hype, than it did when it came out in 2016. But it's become collectible. So the kind of book, maybe you're not going to find the 1 in 30 digging, but the cover A, or whatever the trade dress is, I don't know if it's an A or not, you could probably find for sure. There's 1 in 10s, 1 in 30s, 1 in 50s, maybe.
Well, I'll tell you what, they are repurposing art like it's going out of style. So I wouldn't not expect this on a cover in 2025 or in the near future.
All right, Blind Adam, it's Bettie Page getting her photo taken, and you see someone walking in the door. She has a shocked face on her, and she's covering her chest, and then you see a photographer in the background, and
Don't
and then on the bottom right corner it says "Wow," so it's a homage to that cover. If that helps describe, I don't remember what Bettie Page.
Scantily clad. Hey, Ben, who do you like better, Terry Dodson or Frank Cho?
I have a soft spot for Terry Dodson, but Frank Cho probably by a whisker. But I got nothing but love for Terry Dodson. Think he's wildly underappreciated. I remember that Black Cat series that he did with Kevin Smith back in like the early 2000s.
Wasn't that great, dude? God. Was that the Kevin Smith Black Cat series?
Yeah, the one he never finished. He never finished anything he did for Marvel, but yeah.
Was it Cho or Dodson that did Trouble?
So Cho did the second print, because they're all photo covers except for the second print of #1. That was a Frank Cho. Great book. We talked about it on the show. That book is widely underappreciated.
I get those two mixed up sometimes.
Well, they kind of have some. I mean, listen, they draw, the ladies quite similarly. They have similar tastes.
I still am waiting for the email response from Terry Dodson to say like if he's going to do my commission or not. So when you say he's underappreciated, I think he was pretty busy doing commissions for other people.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not loved, but in sort of the spectrum of love comic artists, he's not in the top quartile. Probably in that second level.
Yeah, I mean, for as long as he's been in the business and the prices that he's charging for a commission, I see what you're saying. Versus like someone that's like new and upcoming right now, and then their prices are like ridiculous.
I would say like original art versus printed material. Like a variant or something like that. I don't think those go for as much, or they're underrated and undervalued.
I mean, we talked about that Black Cat cover that he did that came out recently. Do I have it right here? Let me see if I have it. That, I don't know why it doesn't go for more. It's a beautiful Black Cat cover from a spider. What did I do with it? I don't know if I still got it hanging around here, but it was on one of the shows probably 3 months ago. And just a really well done version of Black Cat. Very sort of in the spirit of, I don't know where my copy is, in the spirit of what he was doing for Kevin Smith. But he may had even drawn that back then and repurposed it because it was so sort of that time. But it doesn't really go for that much, and it's one of the better Black Cat covers I can think of. All right. Here's an obscurity. Good luck finding this one. If you do, let me know. Vampirella Monthly number 23. This is a Mark Teixeira blue foil variant. It was limited to only 100 copies, so a genuine ghost. I don't know if you recall, but Teixeira was a ridiculously good artist. I mean, he killed it on Ghost Rider back in the 90s. I mean, he was born to draw Ghost Rider. Now, there's a couple of versions of this one, so if you find it, don't get too excited because there's a red foil limited to 3,000. There may be a silver foil as well, and I think just a regular version of this. But this blue foil is really, really difficult to find. We obviously have Vampirella and Lady Death front and center on this one. I don't have this, if anybody's wondering. I would love to, but I don't.
Yeah, I gotta check remember that big Vampirella run that I picked up, and I gotta go through that.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see which foil color it is.
No, my luck, it'll probably be like red.
I mean, the red's not a bad one to have, man. I mean, 3,000 is no joke, but 100 back then is truly ghost territory.
Does it even exist?
Does anybody remember this book at all? It was from, I think this was in the early 2000 periods when there was, the comic world was, not as robust as it is now.
That's cool.
All right. So there's a lot of talk about, the Pet Avengers Throg variant. Carter, what did it sell for? Like over $1,000 raw?
Yep.
Issue number 4, was it? I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So that book is, I think DeVoe is talking about it on the Shaker Show tonight. We're not covering that book here. It's not exactly what we do in the show. But this is one maybe worth keeping an eye open for because you don't see it every day. This is a Nico Henriksen, 1 in 10 variant. I believe he did 1 in 10s for this entire series. A 9/8 sold for a mere $38 back in September of 2023. 19 of these on the census, which ain't much. 11 and 9.8, and then you've got Throg and Thor front and center on this one. Not going for $1,000, but probably undervalued, given what that one's selling for. And this was the second series, or this is the first series? This might be the first series. This was in 2009, I believe. Give me 1 second.
This wasn't the famous one that Mel was chasing after, was it?
No, that's the one. That's the one that went for $1,000 that Carter was talking about.
Oh, okay. I think he sold his.
I hope he got $1,000 for it, man.
Maybe he still has it. I don't know.
Yeah, so this is 2009. Now, keep in mind, Marvel ratios in 2009 were not all that common. This is the first series. The number 4, the one that's going for crazy money, is the second series from 2010. It's a 1 in 15.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, this is just a beautiful Stephanie Hans.
Isn't this the one that it honestly was homaging that Daredevil book?
Which one are you thinking?
It almost looks like the same with Venom. Let me see if I can find it.
I used to have this book.
It's a Daredevil book that looks almost just like this from like 10 years before or something like that.
Yeah, I mean this book is it's not that hard to find necessarily, but Stephanie Hans has enough of a following and it's striking enough where for the right price, I would definitely be grabbing this one. 140 on the census, 110 and 9.8. Sold for $100 earlier this year. Yeah, not a bad looking comic book.
I'm glad to see that she's doing work again, though.
Yeah, it's Daredevil. If you could pull it up, Daredevil number 323.
323.
Yeah.
Oh, I know the book you're talking about. You're going way back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I was trying to think more recently. Yeah, that's back in the day.
Yeah, this it might be one of the first Venomized covers, man.
Yes. This is
1993. This might be the first time you see that.
Yeah, that's a great call, Joe. Great call. That totally has that vibe.
Nice.
Yeah, man, I love that, Jared. I loved all that, Jared.
Right. So it's almost like, did Stephanie put after? I don't want to get the artist in trouble. You know what I mean?
Joe, you're gonna start some drama here, man, in the comic community if you're not careful.
Oh God.
Yeah, but this cover was done like 1,000,000 years ago, so
doesn't matter.
You did it right after blah blah blah.
You lose.
All right, Carter, this one is yours, man, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Street Fighter 2. This is a second print.
I could not find the artist on this. I looked at CGC
Scotty Young.
slabs. There was no artist. There is a signature there.
I can't make it out.
I couldn't decipher it.
It wasn't even on My Comic Shop, was it?
Nope. And
It's
literally,
Scotty Young,
the CGC slabs don't have it.
See, I was gonna say it was Ivan Tao.
That's not Tao, but that's not
No
a bad
way.
call.
Even though I know it's not. So
I was thinking like maybe Udon-ish or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, since it is a second print and it is a different cover than the first print. So featuring Cammy, and I don't know. I came across this book, and like it really doesn't go for anything.
is this an image book?
One on the census,
Yeah.
it's an 8.5. Somebody went out of their way to grade an 8.5, and somebody bought the 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of those things. Like it's rare, but it's not rare until people know that it's rare, and people start wanting.
And then
You know what? I should have looked up the print run of maybe the first print to maybe gauge.
Yeah,
I looked this thing up, and it was so low it didn't register on Comic-Con.
Holy cow! Okay, all right, something worth holding on to.
I would
Some-
hang on to it.
Did you find one?
Yeah. I found a copy
Nice.
of this.
And all the haters in the chat right now, you obviously never played Street Fighter, so
Loved me some Street. I played
Street Fighter 2.
I played the
Yeah.
hell out of Street Fighter. I want to say 4
Oh, 4 was a good one.
back in 2009.
Yeah, I remember my friend from high school, like he would play Street Fighter all the fucking time.
I would
like
use
it-
Blanca nonstop. That was-
Man,
killed everybody, man.
did but a buddy of mine, like I played against a buddy of mine, and he would always play as Blanca, and he would always kill me.
Mm-hmm.
What version are they on now? Is it 6?
Oh
Is that-
shit! I don't know, man. I haven't played
Is it-
Street Fighter since
that
the
the most
90s,
current
bro.
I think that's the most current one, or is it 7? Is it 7?
It's got to be 6. I can't. It's gotta
7
be
was
6.
released June 2nd of 2023.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Is it
Damn.
8? Are they on 8? I know Tekken's on 8. All right.
There's no way 7 came out in 2023, and they're on 8 already in 2024.
That's true.
They
Yeah.
take their sweet time.
Yeah, fighting games like usually last like what 2 or 3 years before they
Yeah.
upgrade it.
Yeah, easy.
Sometimes more, right? Okay, 7. Liger style is saying 7. It's hard to keep up with. I don't game as much as I used to.
All right. Another one from Carter.
Okay, so so this book means the world to me. So this is Uncanny X-Men number 274. So this was the first book that I bought where I kept buying comics afterwards. Because I remember a couple years prior, I bought like a stack of Superman comics on like a family trip. But it was just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then jump cut to like 2 years later in 1991. I see this on a rack, and I'm just like, my mind was blown seeing this image.
Listen,
Hey.
man, Savage Land Rogue has an impact on people. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, you can't really explain,
Mm-hmm.
what the character, does when you first see her. So I get you.
Yeah, because I was definitely familiar with Magneto from Secret Wars action
Mhm.
figure and the Pride of the X-Men TV show back in 89, that pilot. So I was familiar with him, but I'm just like, who the hell are these other characters? Who is this like hot chick, like with Magneto? I was just like, this cover captured my imagination like seeing the Transformers back in '84.
All right, big time, man. I remember buying this damn book, man. This was like when Silvestri transitioned into Jim Lee, like that was like the X-Men like golden age for me.
Yes,
and
sir.
I think for a lot of people.
Yeah, because so at this time you had Jim Lee doing X-Men, Silvestri was doing Wolverine at that time as well. So because this month was this book, Darkhawk, and then I remember picking up the Silvestri Wolverine that month as well. Oh my god, Blood and Claws Part 2. That was
good days, man. Good days.
Hell yeah.
All right, real quick. Heroes Reborn with the $4.99 super chat.
Thanks, bro, man. That's not necessary, but much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Arnold Sang is the cover artist on
Right on, man.
Number 2 second print.
Hell yeah. Thanks.
Good to know, man. Thank you so much.
Let's see. I met all of the artists at New York City Comic Con back in 2006. I have the original art from all.
Very nice. Good to know.
All right.
The newsies on these, whenever I see them digging, they come with me every single time.
Bro. Okay, so do you remember when I had talked about the bad time I had at a convention where I paid like $150 for like a bunch of comics? Well, I found 3 pristine copies of the newsie of this.
Oh, within that pile of comics you bought?
Yeah. And I'm talking pristine.
Dude, send them in, man. I mean, 98 section, $180 ain't no joke. I mean,
and you just have to sell one, and you made your money back, or you profit.
Yeah, that's true. But this week, the facsimile of this came out, and like when I saw it, I'm just like, seriously? Just because it's like, just the direct edition. If you look hard enough, you can find this thing for like $3. And they got that freaking facsimile for like $5.
I think they did a foil of it too, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's probably a 1 in 25 where it's a completely different cover.
There's an Unknown Comics, Tyler Kirkham and David Nakayama.
Rogue,
right. Rogue. Savage Land Rogue.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So I was just wondering what the hell, like, I love the cover, but I guess it wasn't just me that loved this cover.
No. There's a ton of Jim Lee covers that, like, I think were spoiled, but like when you like in hand look at, like, for the first time, some of the Jim Lee covers, I remember like working at the shop, putting them on, you just look at it, man, this guy's different. The same thing with McFarlane, and just and they hadn't even touched the surface of their talent, man. And it's just, but it's almost like they were like, okay, run with it, go, show me what you got. And they just, boom. And you're looking at it like, holy shit, I can't wait. I want more. So that feeling, Mercenant, where it's like, I couldn't wait to buy more. Like, that's why we're in the situation that we are in, man.
Bro.
Like, one comic leads to another and another. I want the whole run, and I want to put it, make my own compendium, man.
Listen, a month later, X-Men 275, the gatefold double issue. Holy, that when I seen, so I see this cover and then I see 275. I'm just like, okay, I'm hooked. That was it.
They just tap it right in the veins, man. Just give it to me straight.
Yeah, it was a wrap. It was a wrap after that.
Yeah. No.
So we had Jim Lee and Michael Jordan at the same time.
Nice. Yeah. And as I think it was Paul who pointed out, there is a Mark Jewelers for this as well.
Oh, yeah, there is. Yeah.
I was going to ask, is that real? I didn't know if that was.
Yeah, 100% is. 100% is.
Nice.
I've got an Extinction Agenda, Jim Lee Extinction Agenda issue. That's a Mark Jewelers.
Nice.
I remember that.
All right.
Oh yeah, look at this.
Okay. So this is Action Comics 844. Now I specifically said Newsstand on this just because you want the least common version. And I don't think there's a variant for this.
Nice.
And I like this just because you have Richard Donner doing the story on doing the story on Superman. So he's working with Jeff Johns, who was his assistant when he was kind of like breaking in. And from what I remember of the reading of this story, it was like a sequel to Superman 2.
Really?
Yeah, because you had Zod and his crew. They had come back, and from what I remember, Superman had taken in like a young Kryptonian. From what I remembered of this.
Now there is a cover B for this, I'm pretty sure, and it is so unrememberable. It looks like just sort of any action. Like this looks like it should be a variant,
right?
Where the cover B on this thing is like just like any old Action Comics cover from this era, that you'd never remember, if I remember correctly.
So this is the Superman version of Batman 655. That Kubert
Black and
variant.
white.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I would say one of my favorite things to do right now in the hobby when digging is looking for newsstands of just like, amazing, cover A's from, 20 years ago. I mean, just love spending time digging for that stuff. And you almost never find it. When you do, you're like, it's satisfying as hell. It is satisfying as hell.
Yeah, it is.
We're not done talking about newsstands. Well, I think we got some more on the show. So here's a newsstand that I think
Mama
a lot of money. Astonishing X-Men number 43. This is obviously Art Adams, and this is that profile pose that he's so loved for currently. The directs of this, people are asking $30 for.
Dude, this is a positive space variant.
Very positive.
A mama space variant.
Yeah, mama.
Strings is holding on for dear life.
I just think this in a newsie would be awesome to have. I've looked for it. I think there's one on eBay. Someone's asking a pretty penny for it, $150, $160, something like that. The book in and of itself is awesome to have, but to have something like this in a newsie from, this is towards the tail end of when Marvel was producing them. Just a really good book to have. I get that everybody doesn't love Art Adams. I totally get it. I loved his work from, the late 80s, early 90s. So you like him or you don't. Like I totally see where people are coming from on that one.
It was funny. Okay, so like in the 90s, it's like his art was super solid, but I didn't appreciate it. I don't, for whatever reason, I love his art now, the art that he's doing now, and more recently, because it feels like more fleshed out.
Or he found his style. You know what I mean?
I guess I've always appreciated him. I just remember Classic X-Men #1, that picture of the X-Men on the white cover, like that image always stuck with me for whatever reason. Like you could get posters of that. He had a couple of cool Wolverine posters from the early 90s that were badass. Like, I don't know, his stuff always resonated with me. But I get why people may not like it. And,
I hate to bring up
all off to like the same shit.
No, it's like you know, when I was watching some YouTube show with they were interviewing J. Scott Campbell, and it was old, and he like just talked about Art Adams, how he loved Art Adams the first time he met Art Adams, that he wanted to draw like Art Adams. And so when you look at this face right here, and you even look at the nose, I mean, that's Campbell takes a lot of inspiration
Totally.
from Art Adams. Like, and it's almost like the same way you look at Dave Stevens and Adam Hughes, right? So Adam Hughes was a huge Dave Stevens fan, and it's almost like the echo from that. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah, you can see the inspiration in the work, but they've made it their own, right? They've taken and made it their own, but you can see where the inspiration came from. Totally. All right. So here's Campbell that just doesn't get talked about very much. It's not the hardest book to find. But this is Avengers vs. X-Men #3. This is a 1 in 25 variant. It's cool because it's really Miss Marvel, and if you know the history between those two characters, you know that's where Rogue got her powers from. So I don't know, there's something about this book I've always liked. There are several versions of it. I believe the sketch versions, the partial sketch versions of this book, are all open order, I believe. But this is the 1 in 25. It sold for $56 back in 2021. Nothing to get too excited about. It's kind of surprised there's only 65 graded of this. It feels like there probably should be more. Most of those are a 9.8. But you know, just a Campbell book. I know we've got the Campbell fans who watch the show. That doesn't get talked about all that often. I know you have this, Joe, right?
Mm-hmm. I got all the versions of it.
Yeah, there's one where Rogue is in sketch. There's one where Miss Marvel's in sketch. Is there one where they're both in sketch as well? Yeah, okay, there's all three.
So there's a Jim Lee cover of from his run on X-Men of a zombie Miss Marvel fighting Rogue.
Yeah, so that was the first Savage Land Rogue in that book. In the interior. It was 268. Yep. Is that what that issue that was?
Yeah, because I think it was right before Extinction Agenda.
That is one of my favorite. I don't know why. I think I've got one behind me. That is one of my favorite covers from that era as well. I don't know why. I've really loved that book as well. I think it's the colors on it, like the gray background. And I don't know. That cover is badass. But that is the first Savage Land Rogue.
So Doc Joe was asking, didn't he do a long shot miniseries? Is that the one for Art Adams?
That's his first work. So yes, 100%. He did do the long shot, and that was his first comic book work.
Didn't he do another series later where it's like long shot saves the Marvel Universe or something like that? Was that him?
I mean, he may have. I can't remember that one. But I would not be surprised. But yeah, long shot #1 was his first cover and comic book work. All right. I love these Aspen books, and this Legend of the Shadow Clan just has the right vibes for me. This is a beautiful Campbell. I don't know what these were limited to. I think there were a couple hundred maybe on these. Campbell did a number of books of this style for different Aspen comics. This one's my favorite. 9/8 sold for $100 back in 2022. People are asking more than $100 for this thing raw on eBay. Only 30 on the census, 23 in 9.8. 12 of those are signature series. So a book that Campbell was definitely signing. I just like these. You know, I think as people start to want to collect Campbell's more obscure works, you know, these are the kind of books that could potentially catch heat in the future.
You know, I don't have this, but I'm looking at it like, now I gotta have it.
Yeah, this Legend of the Shadow Clan was a cool vibe. I got one more of those books, I think, on the show tonight. Yeah, this is the
Damn.
this is the WonderCon exclusive, limited to 200. Yeah, I mean, if you like
Diodato's a beast, dude.
Debalfo on this one, this is
Debalfo? That looks like Diodato.
only 8 of these on the census.
Oh, if you say Debalfo, it's Debalfo.
7 signature series on this one. So, but samurai swords and mini skirts, I guess.
What's up with the shadow Mickey Mouse in the background?
No,
Hey,
there'd be two guys in the
man.
background. And so, like, nah, you go ask her out.
Yeah. That looks like those executive assistant covers.
Same vibe, yeah, same vibe. I mean, it's also from Aspen, right? So, yeah, this book doesn't go for a lot, but limited to 200. I don't know. I'll pick it up for $5-10.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, that's a good one, dude.
It's not Cassie Hack, but it's got all the Cassie Hack energy.
See, just bought that Astonishing X-Men 43 in the newsstand 2 minutes ago on eBay. Listed as
Breaking the
mint for $25.
Good find, man. I'm jealous as hell, man.
Oh, that is a good find. See, I mean, like when you online dig like that, you find that at such a uber cheap price, like it's hard to pass on.
Congrats.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I missed it. I've been looking for that book on eBay, so well done.
Yeah, let us know if you hit a 9.8 on that, and if you don't, you can sell it to me.
Tony, sorry about spoiling Aspen covers, man. I know you appreciate them. But we gotta share the wealth with the people, man. We gotta share it with the people.
It is Mike DeBalfo. Son of a bitch.
All right. There's a comic book shop that turns out is like 15 minutes from my house that I'd never been to before. Didn't know it was there. I had no idea why I didn't know it was there. I'd been there for a few years. So I'm digging through their 50-cent bins, and I come across this. Like, what the hell is this book? I'd never seen this before in my life. Turns out it was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. I can't find really anything on it. I don't think there's any of these for sale on eBay. There's different versions, but not this one. Al Milgram did the cover of this, and for 50 cents, when you pull this out, you can't really leave it behind, right? Just with the skull and the gypsy there or whatever. But I don't know. Just wanted to throw it on there.
That's bad. That's a great cover, man.
What year is that?
This is right before 2019. Looks older. It has an older vibe to it.
Dang, Dr. Joe said if it's not a 9.8, he's going to send it to you.
Dude, man. I'll buy it from you, man. I don't care, man. I just want that one, man.
Just throw it on your eBay for $1 so Longshore and I can fight it out.
We'll get together an arm wrestling match.
I'll probably forget about it and not bid on it, and you'll probably get it for $1.
Yeah, so this is just an obscurity. I couldn't find any of these on eBay. Couldn't find anything graded on this book, really anything about it at all. But I don't know. I'm gonna keep it.
That's a good find, man. I bet you anything, man. It's going for something. It looks like probably $50-$60 book. Maybe.
Yeah, there's another version. I saw that, but it's sold out, right? So if you read about this, somebody wrote about it that they were selling this at San Diego only. The other version, I saw that, but there's no link to actually buy it. There's a few other articles about this book from San Diego, but it doesn't have any print run information in there or anything like that I could find. Zabit, I did see what you're talking about there, but that, according to everything else they wrote about it, it wasn't. I mean, I suppose they might have had some left and they sold them on their store, like anything else, but it was supposedly just available at San Diego. There's another version that they released more widely. All right, I think that's all we've got for tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
I still have books left over from San Diego, so leave a comment after this show, and I'm gonna give away a couple books. I'll make a wheel and all that.
So that's a little reward for the people who stuck to the end, right? We didn't drop that at the beginning. At the end, you're watching this show still. You're leaving a comment.
Yeah, and since we're ending, So after the show ends, leave a comment. So don't do it now. I'm not gonna stay here for an extra 20 minutes picking up names for that. So, but thank you for everyone for watching. Shout out to the Cover Price show, the Shakers, sending over people. I know Furbird the Nerd said he was going to send over people as well, so much appreciated. I've always been trying to figure out why we hit such crazy numbers on Thursdays, because I guess we go on later than everyone else. So we appreciate it all for all the support from the community. Spooky season's right around the corner, so Friday nights, Lucy's taking over with the Witching Hour crew. I'll probably join in for a couple episodes. I'm doing the Hot 10 now, so I don't know how much time I can, stick on telling scary stories and different, listen to different people's stories as well. As always, great times, especially for October. And if you have any experiences that you would like to talk about, hit up Mama Comics on Instagram, and we'll schedule you on. Saturday is Saturday Morning Toy Box. Monday we have Cover Lovers. Tuesday is Comic Book Women. Wednesday is This Week in Geek, and then you're back here with us on Thursdays. Big shout out again to Cover Price. Make sure you're using the code Nirvana14 for a 30-day unlimited membership for only 99 cents. And if you're not using the greatest tool that we have for comics, what's wrong with you? Sign up now.
Yeah, and Cover Price is also putting out a ton of great content on their YouTube channel as well. Obviously, the Shakers in their Top 10 show, which Laura is hosting, both of those. And then Friday nights, Aaron has hopped on this show. Matt's invited me on. I haven't been able to hop on, but they kind of do a weekly review of comics, and that's a great show to check out as well. So a lot of good content coming out on their YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, definitely check them out.
And then we'll have to get DeVoe on one of these days. It's gonna happen. I know it is.
He wants to. He absolutely wants to. He gets me up on it. He's come close a couple times and then realized he had a conflict. So we'll get him on.
And then big shout out again to Bird City. So pop up Book Alert this week.
Hot Book Alert live this Sunday.
Sweet.
I will be there. I left Carter to his own devices this Sunday. My oldest was going back to college, and we hadn't fully packed up, and so I couldn't be on. But I will be back. Not going to leave the man alone. 2 shows in a row.
Right on.
I should be there this Sunday, so
sweet.
If you guys want me,
hell yeah. Always.
And then are you going to be on the Hot 10 tomorrow for the House of Stein?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. I need to start doing research to find out.
I got to get my blow book in, dude. Got to get my blow book.
Dude, I sent you guys a blow book that you might want to consider, dude. It blows.
Yeah, you didn't see the one that Longshort sent earlier on Monday?
No.
I sent a chat.
It's on Instagram. He said all of us are in the chat room together with Stein.
It's
okay.
I'll show it to you after the show. So,
okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna leak it.
No, just send it to me.
No, I'll just share my screen. So stick around. Yeah. So stick around. Don't leave. Okay.
Okay, I won't leave.
Yeah. All right. Y'all have a good night. We're gonna chat a little bit, and then get ready for.
We're gonna talk about everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about you guys.
Especially you. It's you we're talking about. But leave
Yeah.
a comment. I will give away a book next
week.
You
know who you are.
It's all of you, to be honest.